I'll make a coffee.
It doesn't have to be coffee. I don't want to be material. I just need something to wet my throat.
No, sure. We'll bring you coffee. Yeah.
English. This evening, I'm sorry, we are learning the Tzemach of the Rebbe from Toshin on Aleph, and we're learning the two Parshas of Matas and Masey together. In Toshin on Aleph, they had the same trios in time of the month that we have, but they were a Parsha behind. But at this Parsha, they caught up. But by us, it's only one Parsha. By them, it was two. And that was Matas Masey, Beis Managamo, Toshin Nono. And the learning is taking place in the Beis Knesset, Tzedek, Be'ir HaKodesh, Be'atika Tsfat, Tebeinu Tzchenan, and this evening is Oyer Rosh Chodesh Menachem Ov, that's to say, Ori Leil, Rosh Chodesh Menachem Ov, Toshin Ayin Tev. So what we're going to do this evening is similar to what we've done in recent Sichos, in recent Shurim. We're going to start a little bit further with our main attention to the text, a little bit further in at a certain point, and that will help us, hopefully, allow us to get acquainted with the Siyum of or close to the Siyum of these very, very massive Sichos. And just in order to do that, as has been customary, we'll just sum up briefly the main points that we've had so far. The Rebbe said that Parsha Matas and Masey, including as it does Parsha Masey, is the Siyum of Sefer Rabi of the Sefer Torah, Sefer Bamidbar, which in effect, thanks Masey, that's very kind of you. Boy, I didn't expect you to get down, but thank you. Which is in effect the Siyum and the Chosam of the Chumash, because the Sefer Chamishi, Sefer Dvarim, is Moshe Rabbeinu making Chazorah on all that he'd given over, the Ruach HaKodesh Mamish, modern Ruach HaKodesh direct passage. He gave over the four Sfarim. And with that is mistayim all the Torah mitzvahs, prat, maybe there's one or two in Yonah mitzvah which are mishchadish and sefer dvarim, over Lamaisa, the Masira Alidei Moshe Rabbeinu of the Torah mitzvahs completes itself at the end of the fourth sefer, which is this one. And the minhag Yisrael is that we say chazak chazak nis chazak, even though it's brought down in certain places in Chazal that it's only mentioned one time, chazak. Certain that you say to somebody who he completes Ayin and then Torah, you should say to him, Chazak. Over the minig, Hamakubal, V'Klal Yisrael is to say 3 times, Chazak. And we have a klal based on the Gemara, Masecta Bava Metzia, and it's also shayach to many halachas in Nazikin and in hilchas in Masecta Bava Basra, the Kama Makamas, the fact that 3 times forms a chazaka, Gimel Piyomim, have a chazaka. And chazaka means that we can just assume that this is now a permanent factor, a permanent matthias that's become part of our known fixed knowledge of what is reality. That's called chazaka. The Gemara says that when anything happens 3 times over, then it gets a state of chazaka of this nature. And that applies to different situations in different Eifanim. However, in our particular case, we say 3 times chazak. Well, that gives a very strong binding power to the saying of chazak. And chazak b'klal means the idea of chazkas, that is taking a strong renewal and a strong refreshing of koyach and determination. But in this particular inyan, since the 4th sefer is the siyum of all the Torah mitzvahs, and this is a chizchazkas, but all in together take a chizchazkas gedolah in, and they shout it out. They say chazak, chazak, when it's chazak. Well, that's indicatory also of simcha. When you say something else to call Rama, it's usually indicatory of a chaya somehow. It's called in Yiddish a bren, a fire. That's chazak when it's chazak. So the Rebbe said that the difference between matas and masey is that a mater is a stick, how they call it, a staff, a strong staff. That's the simple meaning of the word mater. So im kain, a mater is a strong, not given to movement or to yielding, a staff. That you ever have it. It's just, by the way, it's just interesting. That's brought down in certain story that wherever you had a great person, Israel, he had a stick, he carried a staff. And it's brought down in many cases. And in Poland, it's a minhag of the Admoira to carry a stick. To have and there's a big in it, it's the mata. The word mata has to do with a stick. And you know the story about the Rebbe. You know the story about the Rebbe. That there was a year that came to 770. I think it was in the Mems, the late Lamas. I've forgotten what year it was. But where I lived in Artsur, in Parshas, it made a big ration. And this person came and he was a seller of antiques. And he said he's got a staff from the Baal Shem Tov, that the Baal Shem Tov used this staff. And he came in the 770, and so they went and told the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said, send him up immediately. Yeah. So he came up, and the Rebbe met him in Gafne, and he said a few words, and the Rebbe paid him. I don't know how much it was, quite a sum of money, and the Rebbe took the stecker inside his room, and he put it like in a corner. And people claim that those who went into the Rebbe's room in succeeding times, if they knew where to look, they could actually see the stecker hidden behind something in a corner. So the Rebbe had also a stecker. The Rebbe taken and it's done. Miyukas to the Baal Shem Tov. And you know the Masey. The Masey. Where's the brought down the Masey? Excuse me for telling Masey, we don't learn it. But the Maseys are important. There was a Masey, you can't hear? There was a Masey in Lubavitch, that there came a similar person in the time of the Rebbe Rashab. And he was a peddler that sold antiques, Jewish antiques. And he claimed that he had all sorts of little articles like Abdullah Pushka, they call it Solomon Pushkas and Stocker Pushkas, and all sorts of things. That he claimed these were very great people. He said, this is from the Marshal, and this is from the, I placed the Maram Shif, and this is from this one. Those all great people held these. So they mentioned to the Rebbe Rashab that he was selling. So the Rebbe said, let him come in for a minute. So he came in, and he put the things on the table, and the Rebbe Rashab put his hand on each one of them and went like that. And then he came to a certain, it was stuck at the summer push. He came to the Rebbe Rashab, he lifted it up and he sat down. Dasig around Shaykh Odom Gadol. He said, yeah, how much you want for that? And the Rebbe Rashab bought it. Yeah, for him. Yeah. Rebbe just for a little bit. He said, fine. Yeah. So the peddler gets out of the Rebbe Rashab's office, and he meets up with the few Siddim, and they say, oh, the Rebbe, what's something? Tell us what did he buy? So he told them, and they say, you know what? We've got we're up to a trick now. Not a trick, but we're up to the Rebbe has a son. He's called the Rayat. He's the son of the Rebbe. Let's see what he says. That's it. So in the meantime, the Rebbe gave him the stock of Pushka to put somewhere. So he put the stock of Pushka together with the other. He goes into the Rebbe Rayat. The Rebbe Rayat was busy, and he said, what did he say? He told him. The Rebbe Rayat did the same thing. Also, he comes to talk, picks it up, and he said, that's my own God. So all the sitting came out. They were waiting when he came out, and he said, "Er gesagt is over." He said the same. He said the same thing. So said, oh. So they all run to the Rebbe Rayat's office. They said, now we got you. So you thought you were hiding yourself all these years. Now we know who you are. He said, so the Rebbe Rayat said, come on, guys. He said, it's a kunz. You have to know something from our Gadol. So they said, well, we certainly wouldn't have known. He says, Rayat says, what you have to be is a techa higher than the world. God saying a techa hecha from the world can be shown wisdom. It's possible to know. Yeah. So the Rebbe was for sure. So the Rebbe knew with Stekede, Yeshua. Yeah. A mater is how they call a star. And a mater doesn't move around. It's fit. Masey, however, Masey is journeys. So when you're traveling around, you're not menucha, and on the country, you're chalas. You have what's called Tira Sadera and to the Gavra the whole thing when you're traveling. And yet, nonetheless, because of that, and because of the need to be machazi, you say Dabka after Masey, that's where the chazak, when this chazak usually occurs. So it's like two things. Mates, they need a chazak after it's been through Masey. It also gets a chazak because it needs to have a tayah. Everybody, even a chazak, he can do with a bit of chizuk, and he can have an emes of chizuk in Shino, he's away. So that's his chazak. The Masey for sure needs a chazak, and therefore the Icha chazak is said after Masey. What happens when Matis and Masey connected together? Then the Rebbe said you've got a very strong darga, you've got a slightly, more swaying darga as a word, not swaying, but not so, stark. And then you have a uya, a mile of me, snayhem, and that's mechaber, snayhem together. And what is that? That's a chazak, it's chazai. Well, that's mamshika, uya, godel, meid, which is mechaber, snayhem. Now that's what we find all the way through these sikhas, that wherever we have two dargas, which are both very meaningful in their own way. Dargas in Kedusha, and we have a Uya Shalamaylamiyah, and the Rebbe brings it out and emphasizes it very much in all the Tzemach. So just by the way, since it's for Chodesh Mamahachmol, I just have to tell you that the Rebbe says that that's the inner of the three Pati Mikdash. The first base of Mikdash was built by Shlomo Melech, and that was by Yosef Shlomo al Kisei Habaya. And remember, that was a tremendously strong base of Mikdash. That was like, you might say, the infant Chesed, the infant Tzadikim, the very, very powerful in them. But nonetheless, since it was not Udot from Masey Rabbeinu, it wasn't Masey Rabbeinu, it was ultimately destroyed. The second base of Mikdash was Bali Tshuva, and Bali Tshuva is a very special Indian. Bali Tshuva is the Indian of Choyzeh, Melamata Lamayda. That stuff here also. We can suggest that the base of Mikdash or Rishon is Melmayla Lamata. That's Be'ika. The Shem Havaya Milamala Lamata. It was very, very difficult when they came back after the Shiva and Shona, the Golas in Bovel, and they came in. There was Torahs here from Goyim, from Listim, and all the things, and Masey. They had tremendous, they had to make a tremendous effort, and they rebuilt the base of Mikdash. Well, that's the Maila of Gvura, Milamata Lamaila Dabka. And that's like Mates and Masey in a way. So the Rebbe says the base of Mikdash Shlishi, that's going to be the Uyer, Godot, Yechaber, Sneihem B'Yached, and they will both become Mishchaber and involved in this Uyer, Godot. We're clearly, well, that's the base of Mikdash Shlishi. And that will be mechaber together, the two Batei Midos, and the two Bati Midos haven't been lost forever, Chas v'sholom. They will also be part, as it were, they will be niklal in the base Hamidish or Asidi, but no longer Asidi. Right now, Beis Hashem, that's going to be Yibana Beis Hamidish, in Herev Yomen, and that's going to be Bias Nitri, Nitri as Kipshuti. That's what we learn in this whole sequence, basically, up to here. And so we see that we have like two kavim, and then we have a third kav, which is Lamaila Mishnayim, and that's Mechaber, both of them together, Alidei, this tremendously high oil, which is Be'etam, the same oil which will be Mitzgale Liyosid Lovin. That's the end of the base of meditation. Okay. However, everybody knows, and the Rebbe's got a whole sikha, or that sikha like completes itself, and then the Rebbe starts a whole piece about the Hilula of Aaron HaKohen. That it's written clearly in the Parsha, in this Parsha, that Aaron HaKohen, he went up onto the mountain on her Hahar, on the Echot L'Chodesh Chamishi, and Echot L'Chodesh Chamishi is the first of Menachemov. It's one of them. Menachemov is the Chodesh Chamishi. The Rebbe says that we don't find the Derek Klal, we don't find it's mentioned the dates in the Torah Shebiksav of any great figures. What's the actual day of their passing? Aaron HaKohen is the only one. He's the only one where it's written clearly that this is the day of his passing. So here we are, right down near the bottom on 457. Right down near the bottom, it says, Beklal, Bakol HaTorah Shebiksav Kuloi, Loi Moifia Afilo Pam Achas, Tarik Petiro, Shel Mishahu Masuyam. Anybody. Loi Shel Moshe, Loi Shel Miriam, always Yaakov, and none of that, the Rebbe mentions none of the tzaddikim before, they always kind of, it's not written, it's just written that these people passed away, but it's not written when. What was the day of their pass? Only when they get to Aaron, it's written, Im Kain, Bavadai, Yeshnoi Kesher Bein HaTarikh, Echad b'chodesh HaChamishi, Lebein Avidoshe Shel Aaron HaKohen. There must be some connection between the whole Avodah in general of Aaron HaKohen as a mani, the Jewish people, in this date, Echad b'chodesh HaChamishi. It must have some unity and shaychus to his Avodah as Aaron HaKohen. Shekain, Kiyadua, B'yom HaPatira. The altar Rebbe says this in the Siddur, in the Shala Ba'ima, in one of the big Maimorim there. The altar Rebbe says that B'yom HaPatira, Mishkalim Bo'olam HaKoiches VaPa'ulais Shalanifto Umaviyim Yeshua Bo'olam. In other words, that it all goes up in a way of perfection, and then it all comes down, and it's the altar of writes in Geras HaKodesh, in Tanya, in the insulin of in Simon Koya. The Rebbe writes over there that Poyel Yeshua is Bekelam Ha'orah. That on the day of our passing of a great tzaddik, that's Poyel Yeshua is Bekelam Ha'orah. Why? Because all of his avodas all collected together on that day. We have to know what was Aaron HaKohen's like Saul, summing up of his avodah. And how is that expressed in these words? Echad b'chodesh ha'chamishi. So he says, Avidosh shel ha'oren mudgeshet be'ika b'yom petiro. So Adarabah. He said, Dafka on the day, on the contrary, he said, Dafka on the day of Aaron's passing, it's written the whole Ika of what Aaron was all about in his avodah. L'chaim, everybody. I don't know if you guys are prepared to say l'chaim with coffee, but I don't have a problem.
Amen.
On the day of Aaron of Cohen's passing, well, that sums up the Chazal come along and tell us something, and the Pasuk itself writes it clearly, that tells us all about Aaron HaKohen. Kasher Nifta, when Moshe Rabbeinu came down without Aaron HaKohen, then it's written, Vayivku es Aaron Shloishim Yom, they wept for Aaron for 30 days, Kol Beis Yisrael, Kol Beis Yisrael. And so come along Rashi and the other great Rishonim, B'Shem Medrash Chazal, and they say that the Noshim, the Anoshim, and the Taf, and everybody, all of them wept Kol Beis Yisrael, wept for Aaron. Why did they weep for Aaron HaKohen? Aaron HaKohen he was in charge of everybody. As I said, he was Reid of Sholem, Oyev Sholem, Bein Ish Lechavere, Bein Odom Leishtoi, Bein anybody who needed Sholem, you just bring Aaron HaKohen and he will put it right. So the Rebbe said that's why Rashi brings it Kol basically, all the Jewish people, mamas. So that indicates what was really the avodah of Aaron HaKohen. His avodah was actors to bring together all Yidden in the form of actors. So we see from that Aaron HaKohen was beyond plurality. He didn't hold from stick like a hair and stick like a hen, as they say in Yiddish, piece here and a piece there. He held from absolute simplicity of actors. How do we see it? But he was for everybody. He said you, and no matter who it is, And the Alter Rebbe brings in Tanya that it says in Pirkei Avos that he was oyeves abriyos v'makar one Torah. And the word briyos means like just something created. It doesn't necessarily mean a man. It's like a created thing. So he said even the Alter Rebbe says even somebody who's only got the mind that he's created by Hashem, even for him, Aaron HaKohen at that time. I see nobody's particularly spoiled in all that. Aaron HaKohen at that time, but no matter who it was, he's he's beyond interdivision, interlevel. He's the pshitas of what you might call the atzmas. And in addition to that, Kasher Nifta Aaron is Tolcho Anane Hakol She Kifo Es B'nai Yisrael Bamidbar. So he said, we find another thing. Immediately Aaron HaKohen passed away, the Anane Hakol stopped. They went there, and there's a whole miser with the Melech Harad, the whole thing with them. It was actually a money. He came to by war with the Yidden because he heard that the Anan HaKohen, had gone away. Now later they came back again, that, but for a short while they went there. And who brought them back afterwards? Masey Rabbeinu. So Gemara was such a time. Daftar. The Gemara tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu had a good. He was the one man. Ultimately, Moshe Rabbeinu, he had to do everything. It says Miriam used to bring the water. She was mistelling. He brought back the water. Aaron and Cohen used to bring the none. They were mistelling. Moshe Rabbeinu bring you back to. You understand? You need to eat, you bring your man, need something else. He'll look up. Over upon him, we see that Aaron, he was the one who Chatchila, he bought the Anania Kovet, she kifu es B'nai Yisrael b'midbar, given Shanonim Elo, Hoyu B'schus Aaron. At the beginning, it was only due to Aaron that they were there. So the Rebbe said, what's it got to do? What's the fact that he was Oy of Sholem, the raid of Sholem, being called Israel believe Yisrael? What's it got to do with the Anania Kovet? So the Rebbe said, Akesha Beinan, Shnei Advarim Hu Posha. Yeah, Haman, Shiyoret B'Shchus Hashem Moshe, or Yumodu Du Mugbal. Even what Moshe Rabbeinu bought was very important, but it was a limited thing. Kol Ehod Kibel, yeah, lawyers and you got how much you were charged to each individual, and you could go out and pick and drag around. You wouldn't get any more. Yeah? It was just a dova, madud or mugbal. Amamela, it's a great Indian, but it was nitan, hagbolas, what we might call hagbolas, he stole. Amayim, the other thing that came was the Mayim Shabahu B'Schus Miriam. Oh, you mukbarim. I mean, mine's not the sort of thing is really. Avohem Igiu L'Kol Echad B'Nifrad. Come over. It's written that the Nasi used to stand, and the water used to come out of the rock. You know, it used to run, and he would, with his stick, he would bring it into the how do you call it, the area of his shavet, and then each person would get a little, a ration of water into his area. Even though the water itself wasn't mukbal, but it had a shaykhs to a kahal mukbal. Ve'ilu Anani HaKovid hikivu es kol b'nai Yisrael v'eshover. Anani HaKovid is it's something to bind it up. In the meantime, you got gaps in there. Elamai, the Anani HaKovid is something that embraces everybody together. And that's our Anakoya. He's Lamaila Schalker, like we said, he's love for everyone. Lamaila Schalker. So that's why he brings the Anonim. Anonim Elo Higio B'Schus Aaron, Shahoya Oyeves Kol B'nai Yisrael. Yeah, Mitzada Nakuda Elakis, Amachedes Eskur. And that's what he says, Tanya Perek Beit. How come Aaron was able to be a raid of Sholem, that Mitzad the Etzem, all in Mitzad the Etzem and Neshama. And so Aaron was able to look only at the Etzem and Neshama and everything. And he had time for him as well, even though he was only a Bria. He was only just a creative guy. He didn't really have any mind. I had to call him Aaron. But for him, therefore he brought down the Anani HaKovid. The Anani HaKovid is the same for everybody. And that's L'mayla miYisrael, it's beyond the vision. Dovazeh af nirmaz b'shmoi. The Rebbe said that this is so had it good. Like the Sichas, here the Rebbe finds a whole premise to this whole Indian in Aaron's name, his name. So he said like this. Dorzeh af nirmaz b'shmoi. So he said, Har shebashem Aaron, mesamel ava. The word Har is a mountain. A mountain is something that goes up, right? Ahava is when you start off when you're on the ground, but you go up with, and you literally run out of yourself because you're yearning to go up. That's what we call rotzoi. That's in the Panava. Well, that's like a ha. So a ha is it's also brought down in Mekuti Torah, in the Alter Rebbe. Avamela, that's the in and of Mesamel Ava. The Ilo Aleph Shebetchila Mesamel Es Ava Haplia Apilti Gvoles. Now that's called in Siddur Ahavo Rabba. And so the word, the letter Aleph is like how they got the first letter of the alphabet Echad. Aleph is like octaves. It's like the Ava, which comes from a very high level, from the simplicity of the octaves that he called an Ava Plia. That's called in Tanya Ava Rab. So he said, it put down in the Kuti Torah Barichas that Aaron's Madrega and what he was mamshik through the Adlochas HaMeiros to Ali Yidden was Ava Rab. You got it? Yeah. Again, what Ava Rab is, that he called, and nowadays it would be called very elevated going out of the cave. That's Ava Rab. So he said, a beauty Gevulis, Shohir Zaito, we see, so then the Rebbe also is going to tell us what's the norm. So just have patience and he'll tell us what the norm. He said, Nitan lil moiteis gam misayda ho'ishias shebamila arvein. Rabba zeo roshia teves aha rabbo. So the Rebbe said, ahavo rabbo. Yeah, how do you got it? The Roshia Tevas, Aleph Hey Reish, that's Ava Rabba. Yeah, Ve'ilu Hanun. Yeah, he said the Nun at the end of the word, the Nun Sofit Shebesof Mila, Misamela Sha'ava Yodo, Vishpashto L'Kol B'nei Yisrael, Afle El Shahoyel Mata, and that's what's called in Sophras. That's what's called Lamata Miyashita. There's certain letters. It's put down in Shulchan Aruch, in Hilchos Sophras, that there's a letter that he's Lamaila Miyashita. They can rob oishas or on the shitta. They sit on the shitta, and then there's a letter that goes mitachet the shitta. Yeah. So Anun actually combines the first and the last. It's a mile Miyashita, but it goes down under the shit. What does that indicate? That the Ava that Aaron brings to people is able to go down underneath the line, to use the expression. What does that mean to simple people that haven't got up onto the line yet? They're still straying around. The non-shooter comes all the way down, and and therefore it's only an Ava built in Gvulis that could do that. If it was an Ava, there's some Indian inside their stuff, it wouldn't make that. It wouldn't be able to get so far down. Yeah, the non is the secret of the tweaker of the love of Aaron. It was able to come down and embrace everybody. So that's the in of him embracing the whole cloud Israel, and he brought to our actors, which is Lamailami, into the vision into levels. Aramela, that's what he said. Dargos shall Aaron, wait a minute, wow, we Soviet Masama Shava Yoda is Pastor Copen. Oh, yeah, we learned that already. Yeah, Dargos shall Aaron, Hoyasol Lamailami is Chauke. He was really beyond any form of like interdivision into levels, splitting up into levels. He was completely beyond that. But that's indicatory of a very high. That's that's why it was named in the Aleph. And he said, Dargos shall Hoyasol Lamailami is Chauke. Well, it's cold when Israel. And that was how he called Aaron. He was ready for anybody, ready to help anybody. He was the availability of Bella. Erbe atafkidim amerkozim shalom mekoyim ayabil his kohanim. One of the jobs, one of the main jobs that Aaron HaKohen had was to make Birchas Kohanim. You guys are patron. There's a whole machleges in Chabadske, in Chabad there's one problem. Whether the Mina Chabad is in Eretz to be Mavorek Birchas Kohanim b'chol yom, or only on Shabbos, v'yesh loyma only on Yom Tov. When I came to Eretz Yisrael, and I told you already, when I first came to Eretz Yisrael in the year Kov Beis, Toshin Kov Beis, that's the year that I came to Eretz Yisrael. I went into the yeshiva of Shlomo Chaim Kesselman, he was there, must be it. The Bochrim who were Kohanim used to bench every day for Parshas, without any messing around. Shlomo Chaim said, he said the Alter Rebbe said that Louis Asher Chayli, he would bring it in all over the world. They would say Birchas Kohanim every day. And in the Shulchan Aruch, the Alter Rebbe, it's mashma a bit, that's the way it should be b'kol. Yeah. So it's a question, why is this strange business that people in Chabad don't want? But anyway, whatever Parshas from it, I don't want to, I'm saying anything about Chabad. I'm not listening into any Machlekes. That's what every day in the yeshiva, in Wood, the Bochum, the Kohanim used to be, it was amazing. I came from Australia, you're lucky to sit once on Yom Tov, if you like. And I see Bochum going up every day, benching. I was very thrilled. In the year of Kov Gimel, the yeshiva all of a sudden went over to Chabad. So Rav Shlomo Chaim, he never battled that. He kept going. All of a sudden, some of the big dignitaries of Chabad come into the yeshiva, and they have a long talk with Rav Shlomo Chaim. I see he's getting them. He's talking about there was a whole big discussion. After that, only on Shabbos. Yeah, after that, the Bochum were here. It's quite high. I'm not I'm not accusing him, and they claim that the Rebbe wanted that way. So could be they have a right or something. I don't know. I'm only saying what was, and we all felt it very much the lack, Also, talk. No, it's counted all the days of the week. Oh, yeah, Shabbos. And Yom Tov. Yeah, they reached up short of that Shabbos. They had to kind of compromise it. Anyway, so the Rebbe said, I have a Talmud called Ben Tzid Cohen. Do you know guys Ben Tzid Cohen? And he's a Cohen. And the Rebbe said to him, that you must bench Yidden. You have a mitzvah saseh, and you must bench Yidden wherever you go. And so he wherever he meets somebody, bench him, he'll give you a bit of skirt. Yeah. But I told him, there's another person who was nipped up. What was his name?
Abelsky.
He was once in Kiryat Gat. He went to Russia and became a big shliach. The Rebbe also said to him that he should bench Yidden.
Abelsky.
Huh?
Abelsky.
Berkey.
Abelsky. Salman Abelsky.
Yeah, Abelsky. Yeah. Yeah, Abelsky. Yeah. Oh, Miller, whatever. There's an Indian that a Kohen should bench Yidden. So, So the Rebbe says that's from the main jobs. So you can talk to Shalom is to make bills go home. So the Rebbe says, Birchas Kohanim, and here's very, very fascinating. Birchas Kohanim, Zui Mitzvah Min HaTorah, L'voragis B'nai Yisrael B'chol Yom. Poor old man said he would like very much in Parshas. He lives in Parshas. He would like to bet, And I'm told that sometimes in a certain stibor in Parshas, that he manages to get, or some Kohen, including him, they manage to sort of get in, sort of, unofficial, a late opinion, not a Baptist opinion, but a late opinion. Anyway, whatever. So the Rebbe says that what's in it from Birchas Kohanim, it's a mitzvah, to bless the Birchas Kohanim b'kol yom. Mitzvah zu kayamus ki yodua gam b'zman hazeh. It's not only at the time of the Beis Hamikdash, but it's also b'zman hazeh. Stam brocha mamshich ha-shefer Elokim elamayla lamata. So he said any brocha of der harogil, stam brocha, brings down godly hashpua milamayla lamata, from above to below. And that's what they say, they're calling Yivorecha Hashem, like almost like a tzivui, commanding that they come down the oil, milamayla lamata. So tefillah, however, davening, matarosa he leseira milamata lamayla. Oh, in tefillah, when the mensch makes the effort, milamata lamayla. He said to ve'ilo maslosa shel birchas kohanim he shehi mechaberes es hamshocha lamata v'ali lamayla. Oh, yeah, here's a very fascinating thing. The Rebbe's got about this in quite a number of the Rebbe's sichas, and it's also brought down in certain drushei tzibah that Birchas Kohanim is got both miles. Birchas Kohanim is on the one hand a brocha, and it's a very definite brocha because it's like a tzivui, Yivorecha Hashem, and B'shtat Sheni, it's like a bakosha, it's like the Kohanim praying at the same time that Hashem should listen to their request that he bless the Jewish people. Yeah, Philip loves. That's what the Rebbe said, that like when a Kohen benches, he's like doing two things. On the one hand, he's commanding that the shepherd come down. On the other hand, he's also requesting from Hashem that this happen. So the Rebbe said in Cain, a Kohen's main job is manaseh, not just offering korbanos in the basin, but there's manaseh, which is Birchas Kohanim. How he could is mechaber these two things together. Shefa Melmaila and prayer Melamata. So he said, how do you be mechaber two things which are opposites? Only through madrega shlises shalamayla mishnayim. Like we learned just now, to join two things together, you gotta have a shalamayla mishnayim. So he says, "Udazu sheberes kehani mahaber dag shlishia shalamayla mitoira utvila meromezas afkar." She's Birchas Kohanim Shalosh Brachot. Yeah, Yivorech Hashem Yorah, Yisor. Yeah, three prophets. And remember, three is also a Dar Shlishit that indicates that Koyach Selamayla Mishnayim. Over here, the Rebbe puts in the word Torah, because the Rebbe develops on it that the union of learning Torah is also similar to Hamshocha Melmaila Lamata, because the whole idea of Torah was given to us at Sinai, Matan Torah. It's the Ikar for Torah is Melmaila Lamata. If you learn Torah And you have to daven also. Then you got the two kavim of no matter, no matter, no matter. And they're joined together. But that's a bracha mishuleshet. He says, "Gam b'mizbah shnoizav shel Aaron hakohen nitam limtzoi remez leka'ar." Also, in the number of the years of his life, we can find a remez for this whole Indian. Aaron hoya mea ve'esrim v'shalosh shonim. It's put down that he was 123 years old, wasn't it? He was 123 years old. Kalema, shenaisef lameya esrim shona shahoyu gamli eliyahu. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu. Itoisef le'arin ot shalosh, or 3 years. Yeah, haruim shiv la'avoidose akloliya shel Aaron. In other words, Aaron got the maximum from, as Hashem said, after the Mabel, that now man will live 120 years. So he got that. So did Moshe Rabbeinu. They got the maximum. But Aaron got an extra 3 years. What's it? The infinite extra 3 years. So he says, Toishav Aaron oit shalosh shonim haroim lavidosi akloli shel Aaron lechaber aliyah v'amshocha al yadei hadroga through a third level, which unites the two opposites together. You guys, the clock stopped. Where's the Masey? You're the altar element. The altar element, Rebbe Brahma Mala. Where's the I said, that's what they're doing to me. It's already, well, it's 9:30. They got the clock saying 10 past 9. Yeah. Gotta get, that was a smile that you get. Yeah. Oh, Mela, says the Rebbe, Yamse, a keshe shel Aaron, a kohen latali, pirti rosi, alle pachayt shel If you thought we were finished, we haven't finished yet. So we didn't begin yet. We're all inquiring about Echad, b'chodesh Chamishi. What is that about? So the Rebbe said, "Chodesh Chamishi kosher leMishpach Chamein." Yeah, that's right. So the Rebbe said, "Shemoyre ka'omo al achibo hamushlam shel aliyah v'hamshocha." The Rebbe said 5 is the Iker Koya to unite opposite. And he's already explained that before in Emerson. And why is that? Because when you have 2, for example, then that would imply that it could be one is like not the same as the other. One is one thing, and the second is a different thing. So usually where you have difference, then you end up with a sort of a possible opposition. You know the old saying where we should do 2 Yidden and do 3 days. Wherever the 2 Yidden or 3 Yidden. There's always a possibility of that. So the Rebbe said 3 is a good number because it unites them together. But the Rebbe said, but you still talk about uniting them together. So there's still a little bit of anti-unity, but you got a koyach above them. It helps them to work together. He said 4, well, that's already a step further. 4 means that you've gone beyond the 2 that have the uniting them, a further level of power. Yeah. Oh, but nonetheless, 4 is 2 times 2. So where we got 2, there's one. So there's 5. That's written about Pari, that the 5th that he got the Foimesh to give it to Pari. At the end of Parshas V'Yechi, it's written that all the people had to pay Pari 1/5 of their income. Yeah. Chamishis oil of Pare. And Pare is indicatory of a level in Kedusha, Pare into Kedusha. He's indicatory of a level Shalamayla Meistalshin. Omega 5 and Pare, they get together because they are in Kedusha. A very, very high level, and that unites everything completely beyond it. And that's the simplicity of the actor. Therefore, what is the fifth level in your Neshama, Yachida? What does the word Yachida imply? Yochid, one and only thing. No ischalvut, no interdivision anymore. So, Achoidish al Chamishi, kosher lemispa Chamesh, Amora Kaoma, Achiba Mushla, Shal Ali Ram Shocha, Elim V'Tartin, V'Gam Yom HaEchor, V'Choidish, Misameres Nekudas HaAchtas, Shalamayla Miyaskal. So both of them, Lamayla Miyas. Chamishi is beyond all these chalvim, and Echor, V'Choidish al Chamishi, is completely beyond his chalvim. Tari said, Mahavasemo, yeah, Meduyat, Lavidose Shola. Well, that is Pidyuk, absolutely Meduyat, the whole Aveda of Aaron Akoyan. Chibo, Halu Avam Shocha. That joins together the Halu Avam Shocha. The Chamesh is the perfection of that union. Echod is even higher than Chamesh because Echod is absolute simplicity, beyond any form of his Chalvus Baklam. Therefore, that's the koyach of uniting all the opposites together. And that was so. And that was the inner of Aaron HaKoyen. His inner was, la'aviva filas abriyois, b'yalma. He was able to unite and bring together and be mechaber. Other Yidden mamish, papa mamish, of Amela, that's the Anana COVID that they were maki for everybody together. Or that's the Inifan Echod, B'choidesha Chamishi. The Echod is the Tachlis Apshita. Chamishi is the Madriga of Lamaila, also from any form of Nigud or any form of Ischalka. And that's the Inyan of Yechida. So therefore he says, Aleph Echod Mesamos Nekudas Achta Shalamayla Mishal Tarisem Mahavasemo Meduyat Lavitos Shishol Chibo V'Halu Avam Shocha. I'm sorry, Chibo Hahalu Avam Shocha B'Pilchas Kohanim V'Ad Goshes Nekudas Achtas B'Kol Am Yisrael in Bilas Kohen, we saw Tefillah and Bracha, and Aaron unites the two together. And then when it came to Kol Chol Yisrael, he was Maki, Es Kulam Fa'ah was Goshen Nekudas Achva Kol Am Yisrael, Ligia Namer Kovid, Shikivo Es Kulam Fa'ah Kol Yehudi Ba'asher. And Tefillah Bria is Pa'ah. The Robert doesn't talk. Now he goes on to the Chodesh Elul already. I see nobody's given a tzittar. We're already starting talking about Chodesh Elul. And he said, Boy, yes, stay at noise, Anila Doidi. Yeah, that's no matter Lamaila, Anila Doidi. Vam Shocher Lamata Doidi. Yeah. So we see the others, Anila Doidi V'Doidi, and yet they're all one thing. Yeah, Elul, Anila Doidi. In order to get the word Elul, you got to have both. We are uniting the two Inyanim together, and that's the koyah, the schus of Aaron HaKoyen. He gives the koyah to Echad, the Chodesh Chamishi, and his old uncle and Beis Hashem. We should be able to reach Batzlacha. Ani latoidi, verdoidi, li patoigel. And the Rebbe says not to wait for Tishrei till you have the doidi. The glory in Elul, you have the doidi, together, Machuba with the Ani latoidi. Ali did the schus from Aaron. Good. So there was a whole you get to Yehuda. I'm sorry, I have to go to Simcha by Yehuda. We have to go now. He's very, very close to me, we have a whole, I can't let it down, it's struck me to come. So, Mel Shem on a good Lashon. Mamshi's on the hour.
חזק, חזק.
That's a teller. That's
Stop.
No.
Not here.
Stop, it doesn't stop.
So Aaron Cohen, he wasn't interested in being popular. Aaron Cohen did a genuinely moment. It saw the fact that he was the olive, and he was the emissary unlimited, emissary there's no, it's got nothing to do with his material. The low shayach alone. It's not etiquette to popular man. That's
It's coming. It's coming.
Vegas mitzad the etzem. Vegas mitzad the etzem.
Otherwise, I can do it in the stream.
Good. Okay.
It's coming.
You sure you'll come?
Let's make our way. I don't know how I'm going to get there.
Let me see.
Yeah, that's you there,
Yeah. We're getting a cab. We're getting a cab.
Yeah, just one shot. Just one shot.
You ordered $9 cab?
What?
I gotta get from you.
The first,
Wait. No, it's not a touch screen. It's not a touch
It's not a touch. No, that's right.
How are you?